Greetings all, this is Precious, the new Jamaican, and welcome to my channel. Thanking you for all of your love and your support. Please keep it coming. It is a great encouragement. If you are new to this channel, welcome, 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 and please subscribe and hit the notification bell. I just wanted to jump on right quick and give you a follow-up on where we are with respect to our returning resident status with Jamaica Customs. So in my last video, I explained that we submitted our application, and I told you what we actually submitted with our application, which was my husband's Jamaican passport, our tax returns for the last 3 consecutive years. We submitted my husband's letter of resignation to his employer, and we also we submitted the application along with those documents, but were then informed that we would need to provide them with a letter from the head of household, as well as a current utility bill, because we will be staying with family members. They need to establish Jamaican residency. And I also said that kind of thing can be somewhat difficult in Jamaica, depending on who you are residing with. If you're going to be moving with an elderly loved one, or you're moving with someone who lives in a rural part of the country where internet is not easily accessible, it can be kind of difficult getting the letter to them, or them writing a letter, signing it in front of a JP, and forwarding either via mail, which would take longer, or via email, which they may not have, with internet they may not have, so that you can then upload it to the Jamaica Customs website. It was just a hassle, and to be totally honest, we still do not have that letter yet. We're still working on that. To that end, and because I need this process to move kind of fast, I contacted Jamaica Customs, and that was a hassle in and of itself, because the first time I called Jamaica Customs, I had no problems getting through. These last few times, I tell you, I called and the phone just rang and rang and rang. I called the corporate number. I called the number that's on the website. There are actually several numbers. And I would go to the returning residence division, and I tell you, I wouldn't get anyone. No one would pick up the phone. And then you would then be forwarded, say you can leave a message for, or be forwarded to the receptionist or something, or the operator. No one would ever be there, and then it will put you in a voicemail, which would either be full, or they will provide you, the space to leave a voicemail message. Well, why would I leave a voicemail? Nobody's going to call me that. So I just continued to call and call until I finally got through. And I'll tell you what, that last time that I called them, and that phone rang at least 20 times. I just refused to hang up. And yeah, I actually called the corporate office, and the phone rang a good 20 times. But I can tell that the person that picked up was not in the corporate office. I think I was actually at a Wharf or something. I really don't know. But I explained the situation. She said, you actually need to speak with someone in the returning residence division, of which she transferred me. And I thought, oh God, nobody's going to pick up this phone. And sure enough, the phone rang and rang. But to my utter surprise, finally someone picked up the phone. I then explained to her the situation that we found ourselves in. Yes, when we moved to Jamaica, we would initially be living with family, and that is difficult getting this head of household letter. Now, one of the things that I found out with this is that no Jamaican has heard of this before. None of them. We talked, of course, to my family, to the woman who's helping out. We talked to JCF officers. We talked to educators. on several justices of the peace, and none of them had heard of it. And not only had they not heard of it, which I understand they may not have had to deal with this, but not only had they not heard of it, they thought at the least it was unnecessary, and at the most it was something that would get them in trouble if they actually signed it. No matter how many times we were explaining that, no, this is not something that's bad or wrong. I mean, my family know we're not going to scam them or anything, but this is something that is required for Jamaica Customs, from Jamaica Customs, for people who are trying to obtain their returning resident status. But like I say, it was just a hassle trying to get that head of household letter. So when I did reach this lady at the returning residence division with Jamaica Customs, I explained that situation to her. I then asked her, would it be okay, since we own property, if I would provide my property title along with the letters that my attorney sent to several Jamaican agencies informing that we are the proper owners of this particular lot of land. That's another reason why you should be using a Jamaica real estate attorney to purchase land, because they're going to handle everything perfectly and do all of these other little things that you may not necessarily think about. So when we purchased our land and everything was finalized, our attorney forwarded letters to the Water Commission, or the National Water Commission, and I know that depending on what part of the island you're on, that may be a different department altogether, or maybe name something else. Like I know it's different in Kingston than what is in Portland. But at any rate, she forwarded a letter to the National Water Commission, she forwarded a letter to the National Land Agency, and she forwarded a letter to JPS informing them that we are the property owners of this particular lot of land, and their records should now reflect that. So I was able to provide Jamaica Customs with a copy of our title, a copy of those letters, and that was sufficient. They said, that's fine, since I will only be living with family members temporarily, this will work. And I was so relieved. I was not even at home when I made the call. So the first thing that I did when I arrived home was to upload those documents or to the email that I was just responding to. Because when you need more documents, when you submit your application to Jamaica Customs, they'll forward you an email, and you just respond to that email. You don't try and upload anything to that website that I told you that you will be forwarded to where the application is, because once you submit your application, it is submitted and you can't do anything more than that. If any other documentation is needed, you would just respond to the emails that they provide you. They'll also tell you that you need to CC, I think it's like RRA at JamaicaCustoms.com or something like that, but that's just the returning residence division, something like that. And so I responded to that email with my property tax, with my property title, with those letters from my attorney, and that was perfect. Within 2 hours, I received notice that we have provisional returning residence status. So yay for that. It was quick. If I had all of my documents in a row and in line when I submitted the application, this thing would have happened fast. When you do submit your application, as I said in my last video about this, they tell you that this will happen. You would get a response within 2 to 5 business days. Like I say, this all happened within hours. So this is something quick. But I did want to let you know what it is that you have to go through in order to obtain your returning resident status. And again, this is not a spur of the moment thing. Get your documentation together. Do not get caught like we did. But we are on our way, people. We are on our way. Soon we will be in Jamaica. I have to look at the email again to let you know what it is that they said we will have to provide them in order to have permanent returning resident status, because like I said, the email said that it is provisional. But let me quickly look at that email and I will tell you what it is they said that you will need in order to have permanent returning resident status. But let me look at that real fast. So I am actually just going to read the email, and it says, please be advised that your application for returning resident status is provisionally approved. Full approval will be accorded to you upon arrival in Jamaica and presenting the following via email. And the email address they provided is the one I couldn't remember earlier, and it's rru@jca.gov.jm. What we are to provide is a copy of our arrival / immigration stamp page in my husband's Jamaican passport, a copy of our boarding pass or flight itinerary, and a TRN card or letter. Regards. That's it. That's what you would need. And so you can't even get this returning resident status, of course, until you're actually in Jamaica. So we're on the way. That's all you need. So again, get your ducks in a row. Don't be caught like we were caught. Just as a recap of what we provided, and this is not listed on the list on their application as to what you need to provide. That's why I gave them a call. It wasn't, they were asking for all kind of strange things. So what we initially provided was a copy of my husband's Jamaican passport, a copy of our tax returns for the last 3 consecutive years, a copy of my husband's letter of resignation, and we uploaded the application. Then, as opposed to providing the head of household letter and utility bill from our family member that we will be residing with on a temporary basis, we provided a copy of our property title and copies of the letters that our attorney provided to the National Water Commission, the National Land Agency, and JPS. And that gave us provisional approval for returning residence status. And then finally, after you receive your provisional approval email, you would then be informed in that email that you will have to provide a copy of your arrival immigration stamp page of your passport, a copy of your flight itinerary or boarding pass, probably both, I'm not sure, and a copy of your TRN card. And then you would go from there. Again, this seems like a lot of information. It really isn't. It's really simple. Go back and watch my other video, my first video on Jamaica Customs, so that you can get a full detail of how the whole process goes. If you have all of your documentation in ready to go, this should run really, really smooth. Call them if you need to. It may be heck trying to get someone, but you shouldn't need to call if you follow these instructions. I know it may sound like it's a lot of information, but it really, really isn't, and it is relatively a simple process. Well, that is all I have for you on my update for our returning resident status. I trust this video was informative without being too overwhelming. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Please give this video a thumbs up, leave any comments in the comments section down below, and please feel free to share it. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you will know every time I upload a new video. And if you've not done so, please go back and give my other videos a watch, a like, a comment, and share them as well. Signing off for now. Love, joy, and health to you until we meet again. Stay conscious and stay connected. Peace.